really wasn't the staple of life. Um,
Yeah.
but this is damage caused by so many years before this time period. What am I making up for? Why am I making these choices? What am I catching up to? I mean, these people don't even remember my name, and I am going to these great lengths to for what? For somebody else's hurtful words. It's a shame that you still see this to this day. I'm sure far worse than what I ever experienced, but
Yeah.
it's enough. I mean, it's
Mhm.
enough emotionally that it can hurt people.
Three, two, one. Welcome to Standing Strong with Waylon and Ashley.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Standing Strong. This is the 74th episode, and we hope you enjoyed Austin Sire, aka Ace Hire's episode on the 74th episode. It was very inspiring, and now joining me is co-host Ashley. What's up, Ashley? And what did you find of Austin's episode?
Not much is up, Waylon. What's up with you, buddy? Austin's episode was very informational and it was very good. So
It
here's
was, and I am doing well. Are you ready for this coming up episode?
yes, I'm beyond ready.
Me too. This is gonna be very inspiring to say the least. And at this time, I am gonna forward it over to Ashley as she is gonna do our next review of the week.
This week's winner of the review of the week is Diana Sparling. Diana says, from the beginning, they have not been out to gain anything, only to help people and show they care. Thank you, Diana. We appreciate it.
Exactly, Ashley. That was an amazing review by Diane. She is an amazing person, so thank you so much for the review. If
Mhm.
you would like to be featured on a review of the week on a latest episode, leave a review on our Facebook page, the Stay and Ain't Sean podcast, or in our review section on our official website, standingstrongpodcast.com. Wow, Ashley. These episodes so far with you has been amazing. How does it feel for you to know we are on episode 74 now?
It's mind blowing, Waylon. Almost 10 episodes in later. It's mind blowing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am gonna give you guys a hands up that the next episode, our 75th episode, Ashley is gonna be missing it because of a work related thing that she cannot be a part of the 75th episode. And replacing her is Tyler Peters. He is gonna fill in for Ashley on the next episode.
I will miss everybody here. Unfortunately, due to work circumstances, I will be out of our podcast office, but my heart and mind will be here with each and every one of y'all, especially Waylon. And thank you so very, very much, Tyler. I greatly appreciate it as I take this opportunity with work to go handle some things.
We will miss you too, Ashley. And now, Ashley, our 74th guest is none other than Connie Cloak. What do you think about this upcoming episode?
This episode will be inspiring and a wonderful time to catch up with Cody and reconnect a little bit and find out more. And hopefully, we can open up the door for more opportunities for somebody out there that may have a connection with Cody and his story and somehow find a connection there or a relation there. And maybe they'll reach out to Cody or maybe they'll reach out to us and find hope and peace and everything that they are going through.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree. Are you ready, Ashley?
I'm beyond ready, Waylon. Are you ready?
I am 100% excited and ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, get your popcorn and drinks ready, and enjoy Coney Cloak's episode of Standing Strong. Here is Steve Fox with his introduction.
Cody Clark, born and raised in rural Pennsylvania, enjoys his family, his beautiful daughter Bryn Lee, and loving girlfriend Nikki Lee. Cody loves the outdoors, loves building computers as a hobby, drumming, and is a huge gamer but also a fitness freak. He loves to challenge himself every day in new ways, socially, physically, and respectfully to everyone. Inspired by some of the greatest minds in music, especially drummers like Buddy Rich, Neil Peart, and Mike Portnoy, inspired by people who generally show respect to others, and love yourself. It's Waylon and Ashley's pleasure to welcome Cody Clark as their 74th guest on Standing Strong.
Thank you so much, Steve, for that amazing introduction of Coney Clark. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Standing Strong, Coney Clark. What's up,
Oh,
Coney?
my goodness. Thank you both so much for having me as a guest on your show. Absolutely standing strong and always beside it. Just enjoying an evening. I think the rain's kind of stopped, so hanging out with you guys and just having a loving evening.
Welcome, Cody, and thank you for joining us. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you again, Ashley. Absolutely great to see you. And thank you both again. It's been a privilege.
You're absolutely welcome. It's our honor to have you as our 74th guest.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing to see how far this podcast has came, and to think I was gonna stop on episode 7, it's just mind blowing, to say the least.
You've come so far, brother. You've come so far. I mean, what? This is 74. That's a celebration in and of itself. And if you were planning on stopping that early, boy, you've come a long way. Fantastic.
Thanks. I appreciate that. So we're gonna
Absolutely.
get started on the first question.
Okay.
Were you a victim of bullying? If
Oh.
so, how did you overcome that?
Yes. I was a victim of bullying, clear down to grade school, and it carried on through high school, and it changed a large part of me. It carried on so long that I started to question myself and what was I doing wrong? What could I change about me? What's wrong with me? Why is everybody picking on me? And I think that's a huge question that a lot of people do ask themselves is what's wrong with me? What did I do to bring you to come over to me and treat me this particular way or hurt me this way? And this carried on the entirety through high school. There was even a point where I went to cyber schooling because of the bullying. And I did that for a few years and decided it didn't work for me. So I went back to mainstream. But after high school, when I had graduated, I went on this rigorous routine of trying to physically change myself. I even underwent a surgery with my eyes because one of my eyes would cross, and throughout school, throughout high school, grade school, I would choose not to wear glasses, contacts because I was ashamed of it. I had a lazy eye. I was ashamed that anybody would see it. I didn't want to encourage the targeting. And I physically changed myself by going through this surgery just to stop, or hopefully stop, that encouragement or anybody trying to pick on me or target me because of this. And that really discouraged my grades, my school. I mean, I really destroyed a large part of my own schooling because of this, and the fear of somebody targeting me because I was different, or somehow I was different. And that carries on into the physical side of things, where after school, I mean, I graduated in 2009. And as soon as I graduated, I jumped on the treadmill. I jumped on working out daily. I jumped on physical fitness. I jumped on any type of fitness, hit cardio, high intensity interval training, anything that I could, becoming addicted to this type of training because of the physical changes, using supplementation because of the promise of weight loss or changing your physique, things that I had through this mainstream of seeing commercials or seeing anything, understood that's what people wanted. That's how they wanted you to be. The way I dressed, all of these things hurt me because of things like bullying. This is what I'm seeing everybody else dresses in these brands that I can't afford. Things like Abercrombie and Fitch and Aeropostale and all these brands that I didn't grow up in a wealthy family. We were able to enjoy some of those things, but from day to day, we didn't have access to those things. And it was kind of hurtful to think that that's what made somebody important to somebody else.
Right.
And bullying truly affected that. So after I'd graduated, I had tried to dramatically change my life for what I thought was the better, just so I was somehow accepted and would never have to face those repercussions of bullying or the hurtful things that people would say to me or think about me. And I kind of lost touch with myself. Something became more important that wasn't. That was not the more important thing. I traded everything, my family, my friends, the things I enjoyed to eat, the things I enjoyed in general, just to focus on changing myself physically. And for a while, it was fun to see those changes, but I got very much lost in that. And it's sad to see how somebody's opinion of you and the hurtful things that they can say to you from day to day. I mean, just the absolute atrocious things that people can say to you will change your life in a way that is absolutely hurtful. No matter which path you take is absolutely hurtful. And you will take yourself down a route that isn't always okay. You think it's okay because you're somehow changing yourself. You're different. You now are their mainstream, acceptable to them, but you lose yourself in the process. And I did. I lost myself in the process of that. Very much so.
Inspiring feedback you just gave us. I'm so glad you overcame that to
Mhm.
put
It's
positivity back into your life.
it was a very long process. A very long process. And it took me a long time. I mean, clear up until my late, almost 30s, to realize that that really wasn't the staple of life.
Yeah.
But this is damage caused by so many years before this time period. What am I making up for? Why am I making these choices? What am I catching up to? I mean, these people don't even remember my name. And I am going to these great lengths to, for what, for somebody else's hurtful words. It's a shame that you still see this to this day. I'm sure far worse, far worse than what I ever experienced, but
Yeah.
it's enough. I mean, it's
Mhm.
enough emotionally that it can hurt people, and it
Yeah,
stays with
absolutely.
them. You do,
Yep.
you don't. It's words of encouragement. Words are power, and power is for everyone. It's for the people. It's for everyone to hear, and you encourage and you help and you stand beside. You don't put people down. You don't hurt them. You don't make them feel less than, because you don't know what you did. You don't know the damage that you've caused. And that's absolutely what I stand by today, and everything that I do. Everything.
Yeah. Well said, well said. It's a
Mhm.
shame that so many people took their own lives over the words of other people. And it's sad.
Mhm.
That's the one that I think hurts me the most, is
Hmm.
when I know and understand and hear that people have taken their lives because somebody made them feel that small.
Yeah.
Somebody took that little bit that they had and took it away from them.
Yep, absolutely.
There's just no reason for that ever in this life.
I
No
agree. Yep.
reason.
Agreed.
I know we all in our high school class have lost someone in our graduation class that took their life.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Actually, yes, it's even the same as mine. In my 2009 graduation class, there has been a few that have taken their own life. Whether it's been a lot of it's been from substance abuse, um, but it all kind of stems in the same category for me. I mean, as far as substance abuse, sometimes that is linked to the bullying. Sometimes that is linked to the hurtful things that people choose to say. I mean, a lot of people look for an escape from that. And it's really hard, and there's no reason they should have to look for that when somebody makes them
Absolutely.
feel that small.
Agree. Now,
Mhm.
when you got involved in substance abuse, how was that experience like that? Oh, sure. I have to change my life around.
Um, Absolutely. When I got involved in substance abuse myself, which was drinking, the first thing that told me I had to turn myself around was first at 34 years old, having my daughter. That was the first and foremost. That was probably one of the biggest moments of my life, was holding my daughter when she was born. This is my first child. She is the love of my life. God bless her. I love my girlfriend, Nikki. I love my daughter. Um, God bless them both. And that was absolutely probably the first moment where I realized I need to figure this out. I need to realize that substance abuse, first and foremost, substance abuse. And I learned this personally from a good friend of mine and a counselor. It's a disease. It's a disease that every day you have to fight, you have to come to grips with, and that there's going to be some of the roughest days in your life. There's days where you're just going to be frustrated. Everybody gets frustrated with work. You're going to come home and you'll be like, boy, I would love a beer. And let me tell you what, I did enjoy a cold beer,
Right.
but it's one of those moments where it was getting out of control. I mean, in my early 20s, I used to drink, and I mean I mean this in the most respectful way, but I would drink until I would pass out. It was a combination of multiple things. Hurt from just earlier life changes
Yeah.
and struggling with dealing with those changes. So it was just, there was no thought behind it. And that's how I coped with it. And I think it was without a doubt the day that Bryn was born that she was like the catalyst, that where I said, you know what, I am ready to be not only a father, but a responsible parent. I'm ready to grow up in this world, and I'm not hurt. I think I'm a victim. I think I want to be hurt. I want to live by these words that were said to me, the hurt that has been caused by other people, but I can't live that way. I can't live this way. And I need to turn and change, turn a new leaf, and be ready to go into the future. Be a responsible parent, be a responsible father, be a responsible partner to Nikki, and just be there. And I think that absolutely pushed me forward. And without a doubt, I can't say that the second you hold your first child, any child, it's like, who am I now? I've changed. I have absolutely changed as a person. And that was the gift to me that brought me out of that, the substance abuse, and brought me to be a better person, that I didn't need that. I could be different. I could be a better person. But it will never change, and no one will ever tell you that it changes. If you use substances or you abuse substances, it's a disease. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting help. What it is that every day it's something you have to live with. It's something that you have to find faith in to overcome these challenges. It's something that you push forward and you learn from. Learn every facet about that. Learn every facet about the substance and who you are with it. And you can be a new person no matter what.
I am so glad you overcame all of that. I'm
Mhm.
very
Thank you.
proud of you.
Thank you. Thank
Ashley,
you.
do you want to continue on since you have had experience with the same thing?
Yeah. Due to my own experience with bullying and a few other things, I too have struggled with substance abuse. So I'm proud of you for going and getting the help, and I'm so very
Thank you.
thankful that you've got your daughter and Nikki to support you. Having a support system is awesome when you're going through it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it absolutely makes all the difference. But no, I've been through it. Been through it all.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said to Ashley, I'm proud of her too, because she came
And
a long way.
absolutely. Rock on to that, baby.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
there's someone out there listening to this podcast who is also struggling with the same issues you was, what advice would you give them to say, hey, you can change your life around? You have to put it in your mindset to do it.
Oh my goodness. I would tell them absolutely hands down is that you are in control. Nothing else is in control of you. You are in control. First and foremost is the information that is provided. The information. Substance abuse, there's absolutely the withdrawals. There's the pause, the post-acute withdrawal syndromes. Learning about these things, these cravings. You're not alone. That's the most important thing, is you're not alone. And there's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of people that want to help you. There's nothing wrong with wanting help. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that people are afraid that you're going to be judged, or somebody's going to look down on you like you're weak, or that there's something wrong with you. And there's not. There's nothing wrong with you. Actually, you should feel proud and empowered by seeking help. And the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody is to seek help with any type of substance abuse. If they want that help, absolutely get in touch with a counselor. There are a lot of people out here to help. They will give you the information you need. They will help you with somebody that you know that is facing substance abuse. it's a touchy subject because a lot of people are afraid of the judgment that stems with it. And it's such a weird subject because I went through alcohol, and the first thing that anybody will tell you is that, well, alcohol's legal. So big whoop-de-doo. No problem. You're fine. That's not the case. It's a disease. In my case, alcohol became a reliance to cope with issues in my own life. That's the disease. And from there, it will stem that if there is an issue or anything that I'm going through, that would be a choice. And that's not the way that's not right. But it doesn't matter what substance it is. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs somebody that they can go to, and it's not always easy with their family members. It's definitely not easy with your friends because, well, especially when it comes to alcohol, a lot of people do drink. I think it's funny. My friend, my counselor, she described it as the muggles. Those were the ones that could have a drink and move on with their day. It was fine. No problem. I am not personally one of them. Ashley, are you one of them? No.
No,
Okay.
I have an addictive personality, so
yes.
When you have one leads to two leads to more, and usually you find the floor of the door.
Yep. God bless.
Yep.
I'm right there beside you.
Yeah. Not so much anymore, but back in the day, there were times. So.
And actually, you know what? That's the first step right there is you're able to even talk about it. That's the first step right there. And that was the same for me is there was no end. Yeah. We're not the muggles. So as my friend calls them, we're not the muggles. We just can't have that drink and then, okay, we're done. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm like a fifth in and I'm still ready to go. And that's where you kind of have to draw the line and realize that maybe there is a problem. We do have a disease that we have to take the steps and get through, understanding those steps, building your foundations in faith and your strength, and the people that surround you, and moving forward and strengthening all of those pillars.
Yeah. At this time, everyone, we will be right back with Standing Strong after this commercial break.
Waylon and Ashley will be back with the Standing Strong podcast after this break. It's my pleasure to introduce myself, Tyler Peters, as the voiceover for this commercial. I was the former co-host for this podcast. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Waylon and Ashley are two friends being a light and supportive leader for our daily life struggles. No one should feel alone or worthless. Let's be the change the world needs together. And I'll add this. It's an inspirational program when you're talking about standing strong. And as a former co-host, I can vouch for this. Now let's hear a quote from the new co-host, Ashley, beginning with quote 1. I am resilient. I try my best. I value my life. I am not perfect. I never give up. I am empathetic. I am a warrior, ready to conquer. I am not broken. I am loving. I take things one day at a time. I am independent. I am human. I'm a survivor. Quote 2. I don't know what you're going through, but it's going to be okay. The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason, because what's in front of you is so much more important than what's behind you, quoted by the famed singer Jelly Roll. Here's some podcasts that inspire Waylon and all of us, beginning with Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, Gall TV with SoCal Val, Mickey James, and Lisa Marie Varon, the Culture Shocked podcast with Corey, Mike, and Adrian. And here's some podcasts that I host, Tyler's Takedowns and Tyler Talks Music are part of DTP Productions in association with SJP World Media. They're all just great programs. As you can see, Waylon and Ashley are on this powerful mission in helping other people know they are worth it. I'm Tyler Peters. Now back to the Standing Strong podcast.
Alright, we are back with the Standing Strong podcast with our special guest, Cody Clark. Wow, Cody. Inspiring. Inspiring
um,
stuff you
thank,
have shared with us.
Yes.
I thank you both for the privilege to be on the show. Thank you both.
You're welcome. Now, speaking of alcohol abuse, if someone's out there drinking and drinking and drinking and they're not stopping, have you ever got to the point where you or you knew someone that got alcohol poisoning and how you have to rush them to the hospital to save their life? What advice would you give someone out there who will experience someone with alcohol poisoning?
Personally, I've never experienced alcohol poisoning. Um, I have a family member who has. Um, I was not there for this event, which also, on another keynote, I am a firm believer, absolutely, that alcohol is a family. It's an inherited trait. We inherit this from our family, passed down through generations. I mean, we all, if we're drinkers, we all love to drink with somebody we love. It carries on. But I personally have never been with, I only know of a family member who has experienced alcohol poisoning. However, in the event that somebody I loved experienced alcohol poisoning, or somebody I was with experienced alcohol poisoning, that would be a uh, very scary event. Um, I think the only thing that would really carry me through that moment is just being in the health field for as long as I have. And that doesn't even prepare you for something like that. Um, that would be truly scary. I mean, I'm I'm going to be honest with you, Waylon. I'm not really sure how I would address a moment like that. Um, I've never personally been through it. May have been supposed to be through it, just have never experienced it in my life. But by God, I mean, I would make sure that they were taken where they needed to go, to the hospital, and brought in, and be there with them throughout the entire experience, as
Right.
knowing myself as someone who, without a doubt, has just grazed through the possibility of being somebody who could have been through alcohol poisoning and just got lucky,
Yeah,
just probably got lucky many times.
yeah, absolutely. Ashley, you have anything to continue on with alcohol and subsistence?
Yeah, being somebody that's witnessed other people that have been in alcohol poisoning, it's not easy. It's definitely very traumatizing and scary.
That would be
Um,
very scary.
yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely want to get them to the right place, right point in time. Not sounding rude, but you have to be that constant little Jiminy Cricket on the shoulder and go, "Hey, I know you can't lead a horse to water and make it drink, but sometimes you got to force it to, because
Yeah.
they might not be ready and might be terrified, just like I was, to want to go get the help. But I thank God every day I had a strong support system, to a point, standing behind me, even though I've lost a bunch of friends that weren't really friends from not drinking anymore. But it's worth it, because I'm happier, healthier, and I'm here to see both you guys now and do the podcast and everything else. And
yeah,
it's rough, it's scary, and it's rough, and you just You've got to be the friend that you would want them to be to you.
Yes, absolutely. And that says it all right there. I mean, you absolutely have to be 110%, and that's the friend that they would expect you to be, and they would be the friend for you. And that's also another thing I firmly believe in is if people that claim to be your friends cannot understand these things, where you choose to step away from these substances or you have to step away from these substances, you know that it's bad for you. Those are not your friends. They are not.
Yeah.
They are not. They don't have your best interest in mind. I 100% agree with that.
100%. I have came across lots of fake people throughout my life at work, at school, online, lots of fake people, and it is a easy dealing with fake people, but we just have to stay strong and move on, and the right people will come into our life for a
Yeah.
reason. So
Yes. You stay
now
sharp and stay strong.
absolutely. Now speaking of peer pressure, have you ever got her into something that you did not want to do, but other people was like, "Yeah, just do it. Just do it. It's gonna make you awesome," and all that. What advice would you give someone out there dealing with peer pressure and not doing what people say to do?
Absolutely. I would the best advice I could give them. This is the tough part is at those ages, peer pressure is a staple. My advice that I would give them absolutely is if you are not comfortable doing that or you are not comfortable doing something, say no. Just say no. You don't have to do anything. And if anybody ever makes you feel bad about doing something, or everybody gives you a hard time about doing something, those people do not have your best interests in mind. They never have, they never will. Say no. Don't say yes. I know that it's a time period where a lot of people think that if I do it and they're telling me to do it and they do it, I'll fit in. If you are not comfortable doing something, you do not agree with it, you do not do it under any circumstance. Don't ever do it. Uh, I can't say that enough. I couldn't possibly say that enough. Do not. Just don't. You will thank yourself later. You might kick yourself in the butt 50 times because you didn't do what everybody else was chanting and cheering you on to do or trying to make you do. But in the future, when you sit down and reflect upon your past, as we all do, and we all do, we all know we do. We think about those moments that we did something. It was like, why did I do that? That is that moment where you said, I was not comfortable doing that. And I said, no, I never had to experience that. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to experience everything in your life. That is not what life is about. Life is about enjoying your life, going through life, enjoying it. You are not expected to do anything in this life. There's peer pressure is just a social sound. It's a disorder. That's all it is. You do you, and we will love that about you. If you do you, that is the coolest thing about you. The
Absolutely.
coolest thing is not to listen to other people. The coolest thing is to do you. Hands down.
Yes, sir.
100%. When I was in high school back in 2011, it was my senior year. People were trying to make me on the bus chew tobacco, and I've never smoked in my life. I've never chewed tobacco. Now, when I got 21, I have had some drinks, but I didn't abuse alcohol. But
Yeah.
in the senior year, they wanted me to chew tobacco, and they was like trying to force me to take and put it in my mouth. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. So they was like, if you don't do it, you're not a real man. You're just a sissy boy and all that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So what I did, I took it and I put my head down. I pretend I put it in my mouth to make it look like I put it in my mouth to them. And it was like, that's a boy, that's a boy. And I'm like, yeah. So I went off the bus and I pretend I spin it out on the ground. And I just ran to my house and I'm like, that's not me. I don't want your tobacco. And when
No,
I got onto the bus the next morning, they was like, "You want some more? You want some more? Can you buy me some? Can you spend?" I think it was like $25 back then. I don't know. I don't remember. They was like, "Can you go to Walmart and show your ID and buy me in, and we could be bros for the rest of our lives?" And I'm like, "I'm not doing that." And it got to a point where because I wasn't doing it, people was bullying me, calling me hurtful names, and it got to the point where I wanted to commit suicide. But thankfully, I did not do it. But yeah, if someone is trying to make you do something you don't want to do, don't do it. I'm like,
no,
if it makes them happy to call you every name in the book, then be it. Let them call you name.
yeah,
But at the same time, don't take it to harm where you have to end your life, you know? I'm
never.
like, it's just, you need to eventually open up your eyes, think, and say, what's my purpose in this life? And focus
Mhm.
on that and forget the rest.
Absolutely. And you know what? Shout out right there because
Thanks.
you took the higher path. And at a time period where that was not the easy one, that was not the easy path. You could have easily did what it is they wanted, and you could have chewed to be a man. I'm going to tell you right now, that'll make a man. That makes rotten teeth and stinky breath. That does not make a man. Not at all. And I will stand beside that 100%. Anybody that chooses to do that, that's their choice. But you do not ever force that on somebody. That
Yeah,
is an absolute no no. But
yeah,
you took a higher path.
yes. And then I've made mistakes in my life where I let the purpose show when, even though I'm like sometimes just go with it and see how the experience is. Because you have to see for yourself if these are really the people you want to hang out with or not. Help pressuring me in to go into the staying ring to stay on the ring. And I'm like, I never gay in my entire life. I'm like, I've done it when I went to fellowships in high school and school, and I always fell on my butt. So I was like, fine, I'll go to the staining ring and hang out in that. And then when they got to the point where I was getting roller blades and stuff, I put them on and I tried. I'm safe roller blading on the carpet and stuff and going to the table. But when it was to go out on the ring, I'm like, um, it brings back memories of what happened to me when I tried to do that because everyone has talent in their life that is different than everyone. If
Right.
there may be someone out there that stakes better than someone else and they are a pro at it. And then there's you who is like, I've done it, but I'm not good on it. I always fall on my butt. And when I got there, it's like I got made fun of and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I let her pressure in. But then I'm like, I regret even going because I'm like, basically, they only asked me to go to make fun of me. And I was too stupid at the time to see that until I went. And then I called my mom and dad and I'm like, can you just come pick me up, please? So yeah, never if your gun is telling you not to do it, 9 out of 10 chances, listen to your gun. Don't
Mhm.
just want to fit in and say, oh, they want me to hang out so they could be my friend or and all that. So you let the peer pressure in. Because I've experienced that even on TikTok, right, Ashley? I always let people to charm me into letting them come in my box and all that. And then it came 2 weeks later, they faked me. So,
Yep.
so yeah, never let peer pressure win because it's
Yes.
Mhm.
not gonna
Yes.
make your life happy.
Yeah. Words to live by. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is.
Hmm.
Always. Even when
100%.
100%.
it comes to, even when
Yeah,
it comes to friendship, it's always, it's all of it.
Mhm.
absolutely.
And unfortunately, you know, things like that happen. It's sad.
Yeah. And I've never really, I know people said on my podcast they want me to talk more about my life and my experience of things I was bullied for and all that. And I really never really got into that because I want to get the guests to tell their story and help someone in their life. So this was the first time I really described some stuff that has happened in my life during bullying and peer pressure and all that.
Well, that's, you know what? That is awesome. I'm going to tell you right now, that is 100% awesome because between you and Ashley, this is what makes all this click. So hearing your story, especially when your stories can be brought here,
Mhm.
even today on the 74th episode, um, that's exciting. That's
Hmm.
exciting. Um,
Mhm.
every day is a step in the right direction. Um, bring bring your stories forward.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
that's exciting.
And like when I said I was gonna end my talk show after my seventh guest, the seventh guest was me. But I didn't really open up about my life as much as I should have. So Ashley brought it to my attention that I should come on the podcast and
Mhm.
open up about my life, the struggles I went through,
Yeah.
the things people were saying about me,
Yep.
and really get into depth with it. And I'm like, maybe at a later point, I'm like, I really haven't opened up a lot. I mean, I told people that I almost committed suicide. That was the plan, and I was bullied and all my life and stuff. I talk about it, and then Lillian Garcia kind of read my message on her Instagram live about the backstory of why I created Team Lillian when it was the darkest point of my life when I wanted to end my life. Um, so that's all I basically ever open up to people. But Ashley was like, you should have a story on who Waylon is so that they can see your struggle, understand why you want to do standing strong, and then the outcome of all the amazing people you have had on your show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a great advice, but I need to really sit down and think, yeah, that's what I want to do. So,
And here you are today.
Yep.
yep,
I mean, here
absolutely.
this is beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank
And
you.
you guys are really really reaching out to a lot of people that need that
Mhm.
help every day. And that is amazing. I mean, what is more fulfilling? What is more fulfilling than going through that struggle yourself, knowing how much it hurts every single day, uh,
Absolutely.
facing facing the demons,
Yep.
and then standing strong.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
That's it.
amazing to see how far this has came. And Lillian told me every time she speaks to me how happy she is and how proud she is to see how far I came in my life from the day I first met her to now. So
I love it. You guys are killing it.
thank you. Now, how do you manage your anxiety and depression in every day of your life?
Oh, well, going through school, high school was anxiety daily. Anything, whether it was talking or even being called on as a student to answer questions. I mean, whether I knew the answer or not, it was anxiety just to speak. I mean, I'm amazed that I'm speaking to you guys right now.
Right.
um, but it was a lot of uh, building. There was a lot of building, becoming comfortable with myself, um, learning to talk to myself, and even um, a really good one that my girlfriend gave me was, um, if you're going to say something, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. Speak to yourself no matter what you're going to say. If you're going to say something with meaning, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. That is, if you can't say it to yourself, then the work needs to be done. It's a building process. And speak comfortably. If you cannot speak, if you are not comfortable speaking to other people, you are not comfortable with those people. I am I'm very comfortable speaking with both of you. Um, but if you are not comfortable speaking with somebody else, those may not be the people you need to be speaking to. Is kind of my thought on it.
Yeah.
But it took a long time. I mean, um, getting past the anxiety, it's an everyday fight, and it's a walkthrough on all different levels. Whether it's a job interview, thank God I have a wonderful job. I love it. I don't plan on going anywhere, so that's taken care
Nice.
of. But aside from that, even when there's times where you need to speak up, and even especially, this is a powerful moment, is speaking up for somebody else who can't.
Right.
If you witness somebody who is being hurt or belittled, speaking up for them, standing in a position where you can be that person, you may have just changed the entire scenario. You may be the one that said to the person that was bullying or hurting them that that wasn't so cool. You're not cool for doing that. Here's somebody else stepping in and saying, that's not okay. That's okay. There are times when you will know when the anxiety and the nervousness goes away. It just takes time. That's the only thing is time. A lot of self trials and errors, talking to yourself, and just forcing yourself into positions that are not comfortable. You have to do that. That's
Yeah.
the only way that I know. And every day I'm learning, which is the beauty of this life. Is every day all of us are, but it's
Right.
when you realize that you're doing that and you're taking it all in. It's well worth it.
Yeah, and what you and I both do for work, we have to swallow our anxiety and advocate for others and stick up and say, hey, that's not cool.
Yes.
Because I mean, our people try. They really do in their own unique way. And I learn so much from just the three I personally take care of. But not only them, everybody in that company and the other companies that come to join us. It's hard because you watch them go through their anxieties. You've got to
Yeah.
swallow your own and open your mouth and go for them.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I love that. I love that word, Ashley. I love it when you are advocating for them. That is right there. That is the embodiment of what we do. We advocate. You are their voice whenever they don't have that voice to speak.
Yeah.
You are absolutely that part of them. So I love that. That's awesome.
Now, speaking of people who feel ashamed of their body size, their height, their weight, and all that, what was the biggest struggle you did when you were struggling with your weight? And one advice would you give someone out there to say, hey, don't beat yourself up over what you look like today. If you want to change, it's your mindset.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. Absolutely your mindset. Absolutely your mindset. First and foremost, you're looking at the guy who body shames himself. Not so much anymore, but back in the 2000s, clear up to the 2015s, it was my absolute goal to focus on my body and put myself through as much physical torture as possible, I think. My advice that I would give to anybody is that, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you right now, is that six packs and Tom Cruise and all these Hollywood actors that have these amazing bodies, that is not what everybody wants. That is not the reality what everybody wants. I have learned that what everybody wants is, number one, a good personality. Somebody who is respectful. Okay, you might have the most perfect physique in the world, but if you have absolutely no respect for anybody else, nobody's going to want to be around you. Someone who is thoughtful, someone who is family oriented, somebody who is there. There is so much more that is so much more important. We go through this trained psychological thinking of, we see these actors, we see these commercials, these people that have these breathtaking bodies. I mean, come on. The amount of time and the amount of whatever might be involved, it gets to a point of unrealistic. And trust me, I tried as hard as I could to achieve these things that are absolutely over the top, physically over the top, to the point where it affected my own well-being, especially with my family. Things where you can't even enjoy things like a family dinner because what you're eating is not appropriate for your diet. There's too many carbs, there's not enough proteins, there's too many sugars. There's I think that the main thing that people should focus on is that somebody is everybody you ever meet, you are going to fall in love with the people. You are going to enjoy being around the people the most that have these great personalities. They don't have men with 30 waists, or they're not wearing the most expensive clothes, and those are not the people, because those people
Right.
hurt the same way that you and I do. I did it. Trust me. This is coming from, I think, possibly what I can hope to be one of the best sources of information. I was miserable. I did everything. I got to the point where I achieved what was a six pack. I was healthy. I was dieting. I was miserable. I was unhappy. I don't think anybody really liked me for anything other than appearance. The personality was shot. The happiest I've ever been is the guy who likes cheeseburgers. I love to grill. I love food. Trust me. And I love when Brent helps me cook, when Nikki helps me cook. We cook all sorts of good foods. We enjoy all sorts of good foods. I am not paper thin. I don't enjoy life like that anymore. I still love nutrition, dieting. I still enjoy some of that stuff. I do. Really, it's fun. It's a good time. But it ain't life. It's not real. None of that
Right.
stuff's real. We're not in front of a Hollywood camera. And the best advice I could give to anybody is that be you. You is 100%. Be a good person. That is 100%. That's what people love. That's what they want to see. They want to be around that. They want to be positive. It's just, I don't know. It's easy to get lost in that
Yeah.
because it seems like anymore that's all we see.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, what's your favorite meal to make as a family?
Oh, okay. My favorite meal to make as a family. My favorite food to eat as a family is pizza. My favorite meal to make as a family. Oh man, you got me in a rough spot.
He's good at doing that.
Uh-huh.
I found, I think one of my favorite meals to do as a family, and recently, is fettuccine alfredo.
That's
Well,
good.
simply because we all love it, but especially because my daughter likes to get involved, and it's something that it's an easy meal. It's a pretty easy prep. I mean, but we all get involved in it, and she loves it. She loves her spaghetti's her number one meal. So,
Oh, that's my nephew's favorite.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I would say that's probably my favorite meal to make as a family.
Nice.
Now to eat it as a family, pizza. Because trust me, I eat more pieces than all of them combined.
Now, do you guys bake cookies together during the holidays and pies and all that?
We do. You guys are probably going to cut me off right now because I don't like sweets. I hate sweets.
Well,
That's
certain sweets good and certain sweet tastes like crap.
Yeah. Bryn, Nikki and Bryn, they love to do stuff like that. My mom and my dad, especially my mom, she's like big into doing the baking thing. Especially with Bryn, they do the holiday cookies, they do all that stuff. Just a couple months ago, her and my mom baked a Wednesday cake. Okay, have you guys seen Wednesday on Netflix? I mean, that's
Yes.
Bryn's number
Not
one
My
show.
nephew
new
loves
season,
Wednesday.
but I've seen
Okay.
the first part.
That is her number one show, and they baked a Wednesday cake.
Aw,
And yeah,
that's awesome.
so
Yeah.
they love doing that stuff together.
Awesome. That's neat.
That's something she'll remember from
Yeah.
now till forever.
Absolutely.
Having daddy and grandma
Absolutely.
and mom all involved, and even grandpa. So
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a family thing. I don't really eat it. I just can't do sweets.
Right.
But I like it for the family. It's a
Yeah.
family thing with all of us. So
Nice.
it's a lot of fun.
That's neat. That's awesome. That's
that
awesome.
is awesome.
Now, I am gonna save the best for last.
Oh boy.
Until I ask you the final topic, I'm gonna throw it over to Ashley so she can discuss her topics.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I told you she puts me in the hot seat too, Cody.
There you go. You're in.
Have you or anybody you know experienced domestic violence or sexual assault? And if so, how, either with your experience or with helping somebody else, how did you manage that?
Me personally, and who I am with, we have never experienced any kind of domestic or sexual assault. Fortunately for us, that doesn't speak for the rest who have, and that's heartbreaking to even know that they do or did. Dealing with that personally, I've never been through that. My advice is that's an absolutely seek help situation, especially any type of domestic or sexual assault. Absolutely. That's heartbreaking. That's a very heartbreaking subject.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could elaborate more. I have not personally been through that myself, though, Ashley.
Unfortunately I've got experience with both, and like you said, it's definitely a seek help and find your light.
I suppose I want to kind of challenge as a guest. Can I kind of pick your brain a little bit on how you dealt with that particular situation?
For the sexual assault, it went on for a while. Unfortunately, it was actually one of our customers at Sears who was actually my neighbor too for 20 plus years. You just never think anybody that close would do anything like that, and you just have to learn to finally find your backbone, speak up and speak out. and
And
going to get the help.
that's what you did.
And
well,
I had to go get the help. I went through counseling and had to unfortunately get the law involved because he would not quit. But you know, even now, and that's been pushing 10 years ago, he's moved on. He moved over 6 hours across the state, but it still comes back and kicks my butt every now and again because it's like, wow, I let it go on for this long. Why? But at the same time, it's like, well, you didn't know until poop hit the
right,
fan. And like I said, you got to learn to speak up, find your backbone, and find your support system. The domestic, I unfortunately fell for somebody's Birmingham that they painted me, and they painted a beautiful picture for 3.5 years. And I finally said, enough's enough. And I wound up in the hospital because of it. And when the hospital doctor told me, you go back, you ain't going to be allowed to come back here and you're not going to make it. That was my eye opener. And I got out, got the help I needed, and got back in touch with some very important people and some very meaningful people.
that's awesome that you overcame these two huge hurdles right there. But I'm absolutely sorry that you ever should have had to experience any of that.
Thank you.
That is absolutely, absolutely horrible that you should ever have to experience anything like that. But God bless you, pulled through. You did that yourself. You made those choices, it reached out, and you got that help, and you took those steps, and you made sure the ones that were responsible for hurting you were prosecuted.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge step. And also, I want to thank you personally for speaking about that, because I would never expect anything like that to be so easy to talk about.
Yeah, it's not easy. Unfortunately, it led to the substance, which was alcohol abuse, and then
Right.
alcohol led me to going and getting help and counseling. And I can tell you this much: family services was wonderful down here in little rinky-dink Oil City. Unfortunately, my counselor is no longer there. She has spread her wings and is now working with juveniles that need some help, which is wonderful. I praise her every day for it.
Yeah.
But one of her
Yes.
biggest things for me, not only was it to seek therapeutic music, which I went through different genres and I still this day do. My dog, who was in here before we started the podcast, and she's jumped to the couch now, Quinny, mentioned in my name. I can't tell you enough how well an animal can help you with that. And then even like what you and I do for work, I'm trying not to break down. Those people that we care for are just, it blows your mind daily and leaves you speechless because they are my biggest teacher day in, day out, and my biggest inspiration.
Yeah. And that's it. They are your biggest teacher as well as mine. But they also count on you, and you pull through for them. And especially with all you've been through, you are still there to pull through for them. That is, that's a godsend. And they don't ask you for that. You are there. You just are there because you want to be there. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's like when I take my trip. I'm gonna cry because I'm gonna miss them. I love my people.
I think that's beautiful, and I think they wouldn't want anything else.
Absolutely.
Waylon, I'm gonna shove it back on you now, buddy.
And now, Connie, I said I was saving the best for last. Discuss to us your love, your passion, and what metal music means to you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. This is the best for last. Metal music. Wow, that has been a forever for me. I'm a huge metalhead. Whether it comes from the old school death metal, melodic death metal, to thrash metal, to groove metal, to deathcore, to metalcore and all these things sound like core and death. But really what it is to me as a lot of it is the music, but the lyrics spoke a lot to me personally. And a lot of the songs focus on things like loss of a loved one. Even though sometimes you can't understand what it is they're saying. And I've been listening to this type of music, this genre of music forever. And there's a lot of times that I can't even understand what they're saying. I will read their lyrics, and there's a lot of times where it does hit home with me. A lot of loss, a lot of hurt. They focus on hurt. And metal is a genre that this is my favorite. My favorite thing about this genre is that they do not discriminate ever under any circumstance. It doesn't matter who you are. It does not matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter your religious beliefs. It doesn't matter your political beliefs. It doesn't matter. Those subjects don't, they're not a part of that. It is a part of being together. It is a part of enjoying each other. It's a part of enjoying the music together and finding those connections. And that is just the one genre where I fell in love with first and foremost for the music, for the lyrics, for the inspirations. Being a drummer, some of my favorite drummers are metal drummers. Also jazz drummers like Buddy Rich. Um, Progressive drummers in the realm of things like Dream Theater, Mike Portnoy. I love his style. It is so experimental. I would call it experimental, as in it's just so unpredictable, is the word that I would say. He comes up with some of the best rhythms and grooves that you can't predict. And all of these bands, they focus on a lot of mental, psychological, um, emotional trauma in their lives or that they have experienced. Um, all of it. They touch on all of that, and they sing about it in a passion that it just hits home for me. And I know that listening to it and not really listening it from the outside and not listening to it, because I've listened to it for decades. It just sounds like, but um, a lot of it does not. A lot of it is singing. A lot of it is uh, touches home. Number one, Solence. I give a huge shout out to these guys. Solence, a banger a day keeps the doctor away. They're a metal band that is, they use a lot of clean singing, and they are very they hit home emotionally. They hit home and praise uh, to really put your head down and enjoy the good days. To remember that, to stay humble, I guess. Stay humble, enjoy the good days, praise the best of life, even when things are bad. Um, there's a lot of bands that are in that metal genre, which is what I love, that are not so extreme, that sing about the things that we need to realize in life, the things that are not okay, the bullying, the hurtfulness, the things we say to each other, the prejudice. Uh, they focus on these topics, um, emotionally, domestic abuse, alcoholism, um, where other genres will encourage this or say it's cool or try this drink. These are the bands that sometimes we can't really understand them through their vocals, but emotionally, that is what they're trying to convey. And it's not always screaming, it's not always yelling.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's hard to describe, but yeah. Um, metal music to me is a relief a lot of times, even though I genre wide. I listen to electronic music. I listen to some rap music. I listen to country music, even the old school country music, outlaw country music. Uh, I enjoy pretty much every genre, and it's all for the same reason. It's where it hits home.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That's where it is for me. But metal has been a huge part of my life. Probably always will be. Influences a huge part of how I drum, uh, what I do with my own music. Um, but it's never for bad. It's never to encourage bad. It's always to encourage good, and it's always to spread the word of good. It's always to spread that so that, I don't know, maybe it might touch somebody and they don't feel so alone in some way.
Yeah,
Because we all do.
absolutely. We are gonna flip the table, and at this time, Connie has the opportunity to ask me or Ashley or both of us questions.
Oh, man. So I got the whole table. Waylon, why don't you tell me a little bit about what type of music you like and how it's influenced you, how it's reached you and helped you in your life?
Like, I listen to country music. I listen
Yeah.
to any kind of music. I give everything I listen to.
Yeah.
But I've listened to some country song like Milk Wells, Don't Laugh at Me, We Serve Plankton, Fight Song. I listen to a lot of Laney and the Bellum songs.
Okay.
I've listened to Carrie Underwood's Jesus Take the Wheel. Jesus Take the Wheel is an amazing song. It helped me a lot during
Yeah.
my anxiety and depression. And then Lillian Garcia music just has something that connects with everyone in life. And when I'm feeling down, I'll listen to Lillian Garcia, and then I feel better. And then if I'm feeling really, really down, I'll put some worship music on and just give a little bit of my time to God and just be thankful for the life He gave me. I love any kind of music. The only music that I'll listen to, but I'm not really a 100% of, is rap. I don't really like the rap that is like
Right.
swelling and just feel like your life is about alcohol, drugs, and stuff. I just don't like that kind of music. But other
No.
than that, I'll give
Understandable.
every music a try, and if I really connect with a song, I'll listen to it, and it helps me ease my mind. Because music is the key to your soul. It helps you in so many ways to find the
Yes.
key to your heart.
I 100% agree with that. I love it.
Yep.
Okay. Now, Ashley, let's see. How have you been? How has life been? I mean, I worked with you. I haven't seen you in forever. What's new with you? I want to catch up.
Well, besides working for um, UCIP, had a brain fart for a minute. I almost said Sears. It's been a long time ago. Good old days.
Oh yeah.
I've worked for UCIP now, pushing 3 years in November, and I love every minute of it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still single, living on my own, and have Quinny now. I rescued Quinn from a not so great situation last year, and she's my pride and joy. I have my CNA and my CDL, and I'm a med tech and learning to love life because sober. I got sober. It'll be 3 years as well in November, and I couldn't ask for a better second chance at life.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's been good. It's had its struggles, but it's been good. So can't complain. No use in it. Nobody likes to listen to it. So, but how have you
No,
been? So
I've been fantastic. Working, happy, just staying busy. That's what I do day in and day out. Is um, thank God, love my job, staying busy with that, and when I'm not working, I'm spending time with my daughter and my beautiful girlfriend, and we are looking for new ventures,
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for new things to do. But other than that, good.
good.
Now, you guys always tell me that I'm gonna change someone's life out there with my podcast. But what you guys don't know, with all the positivity, the kindness you have for the job you love, and overcoming the struggles you guys deal with in your life, you guys are gonna be role model and life changer to someone out there watching this.
You know what? And you're absolutely right, like Waylon. Um, but you know what? You really laid the seed in the ground and you really let it grow. And you didn't just stop at episode 7, give it up. You actually let that sprout grow and flourish into something really, really, really beautiful. Um, Now you have this amazing podcast that you and Ashley are both really putting 100% into. Um, and you guys are driving it home, bringing a lot of people. In some ways, some of us that are even as lucky as to be guests on your show, a little bit of closure on their own lives. Um, but you're absolutely right. I think we're all kind of just in this together. We're all kind of
Yeah,
changing each other's life in a really healthy way. Even
absolutely.
when we're all like nervous and there's anxiety, we are going to have to talk on this show. Oh my goodness, I'm sweating. Oh my God. It's
Yeah,
amazing because at the end of all of this, after all the time spent, after I can't even imagine hundreds of hours that have been poured into this baby. It's still growing and
it
it's going to
is.
get really big. And this is, uh, it's a beautiful thing to even have the opportunity to be a part of this, especially for what you guys are doing right now in this.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. It's amazing. Um,
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Any more questions for us?
I don't think I have any more. I just really would like to say thank you
You're
to both of
welcome.
you, Waylon and Ashley, for this amazing opportunity to be a part of your
You're
show.
absolutely welcome. Now,
Yes.
for
This
the
is,
grand finale,
oh boy.
is there a message you would like to give someone out there watching right now when they watch this about how they are failing along? What advice would you give them to see that they have a purpose in life?
Oh my goodness. Actually, yes, I would like to give this special opportunity and maybe a few years before she sees this, maybe a lifetime, but I would like to say to my daughter, Bryn Lee Clark, I love you. Um, you have changed my life since the day you were born. I remember holding you in my arms, and everything, everything from that point in time changed for the better. You changed me as a person to let a lot of things go and to move on to be a better person for both you and your mother. To let a lot of selfish things about myself go and to move on. And I couldn't be more proud of the person you are today. Every single day, every single day, you make me proud. And I love you. And you are growing into such an amazing little girl. And one day when you see this, I hope you know how much I love you. That would be what I say.
Amazing, beautiful.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story and reaching out to those that may just need that little extra oomph and hope in life. And Your message to your daughter was absolutely beautiful. And anybody else that's listening, feel free to reach Waylon and I anytime.
Absolutely.
I might not be able to get back to you right on the spot when you want it because of work. My phone's always with me, whether it's work or podcast related. Get a hold of me through the website, my Facebook. I believe Waylon has it tagged in here along with my TikTok.
Mhm. Yep.
Don't be afraid
Absolutely.
to ask for help.
And every episode we have done is on our official website, standingstrongpodcast.com. I haven't really updated it yet because I've been busy. So please stick with me as I update the website because scheduling and getting the guests sent up, recording takes a lot of time, and then I don't have time to do the website. But if any episode that we have recorded is not on the website, it will eventually be on the website, but you can watch all the 4 episodes on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Waylon Myers. We really hope you enjoy Connie Cloak's episode of Standing Strong. It was an inspiring conversations he has shared with us, and we hope it changes your life in a way that you never thought possible. Until the 75th episode, as Ashley said, she will not be on the 75th episode. So filling in for Ashley is none other than the former co-host of Standing Strong, Tyler Peters. Until then, we will catch you up next time.
Thank you for watching the Standing Strong podcast with Waylon and Ashley. And now, a great shout out for our all-star team behind the scenes. Standing Strong's opening and commercial commentator, Tyler Peters. And our very own guest introducer, Steve Fox. And last but not least, our musical composer, Austin Sire, aka Ace Hire of Daydreamers Entertainment. This message has been brought to you by Standing Strong with Waylon and Ashley. Stand strong and spread positivity wherever you go.